Pollnagollum. If you are a player in the Company of Salt and Iron campaign and you are watching this video, you are not allowed to talk about what you see in this video in Discord. If someone brings it up, what was in the video, you can't say that you watched it. Just don't discuss anything. And furthermore, you can't talk about the fact that you can't talk about what you see in the video. So with all that said, let's begin. Katath, Halinka, Rias Ilsmat, and Basso. It's the middle of the day. It has been a number of days since camp was reestablished. And now that everything is settled, now that the perimeter is set, now that the company commanders are in a place to make their plans for investigating the dam, now we can stretch our legs a little bit. Indeed, it's time to go investigate, indeed make contact with your neighbors in the village of Pollnagollum, about a quarter of a mile up the marshy bank. You set out. It's not far, but because the ground is so muddy and wet, it's pretty slow going. You have the set goal to investigate the village of Pollnagollum. As you approach, you're still about only halfway there when you start to see in more detail the village. It is partially submerged, and it's built around a huge cornfield, which is itself submerged partially. You can see the stalks of corn sticking up out of the water. And something you'll notice as you slowly trudge your way to the village is that dozens of people, possibly all of the residents of the village, are standing on the roofs. Katath, as you approach, what do? You're still not within shouting distance.
I think I turn to the others and say, what has happened here? Their village is flooded.
Perhaps it happened when the dam broke.
The only logical thing I could think of.
How long have they been on those roofs?
There might be some money in helping them.
Hmm.
They blame us.
Say that again, Katath, what'd you say?
They may blame us.
I think it might be worth our time to go inspect things closer, see if they need our help.
You're getting closer.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Halinka, what are you doing as you approach? You're still
I
not
think
within shouting distance.
I think she's just kind of checking that everything is on her, making sure that all of her gear is where it needs to be, especially if they do start to blame us and things go to blows.
Blame us for the dam bursting?
Yeah, that I believe that was. I might be mistaken, but that was some risk in Caramore that there certain villagers were being a little hostile. Like for all we know, you caused it.
Oh, yes, that is true in Caramore. People were blaming whoever was around
Yeah.
for everything. They were also upset because people were eating people in Caramore, and you were getting blamed for that. Certainly the pirates moored there.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know why the people of Pollnagollum are on their roofs. What questions do you have as you approach, Halinka?
Hmm. Does there does there seem to be any like hmm, are they there just because the ground's wet, or is there some sort of like ritual purpose? Are they like gathering on the roofs instead of just sheltering there?
Good questions. Make a hunt roll.
Okay. I have ritual, saints, and sacrifice, so I'm covered there.
Fantastic.
That is a 6.
Nice. Take a token. There is a sort of ritual quality to their positioning, I would say. For one thing, they're all standing perfectly still on the roofs. And for another thing, they're all looking down into the submerged cornfield. And you've been slogging toward them for some minutes, and no one has moved. Basso, do you have any questions as you approach the village?
So they're not waving for help and they're not looking at us. Can we see anything in the water? Does it look like there's debris or is the water a weird color?
Make a hunt
Anything
roll.
noticeable? Um, I have skills in metal weapons and crafting. So if there's something built that they're looking at in the water, I'd probably recognize it, but that's about it, I think.
Mm,
I don't know if I
I don't
get
think
my
it's. I
full
don't think. I
info.
think it's just one die. Yeah.
That is a 4.
You get a token. There's something in the water because you occasionally see a splash from in between the rows of corn. Though the people don't react in any particular way to the splashing. Ria Silsmat, do you have any questions as you slowly make your way towards Pollnagollum?
I like this magic and ritual angle. As we're walking towards there, I'm gonna be looking for any signs of a barrier that we might be crossing, looking for symbols on trees or surfaces that are sticking out of the water.
Make a hunt roll.
Symbols give me a second light die here?
Yeah.
Sure. Uh, it's a 2.
Katath, Halinka, and Basso. You have set out from camp to go make contact with your neighbors at Pollnagollum. It's been some days since camp was reestablished, and so it has to be done. But also, your colleague Rias Ilsmot set out a day ago and has not yet returned. It's very slow going as you trudge through the thick mud, doing your best to avoid parts where the bank dips and therefore submerging you waist deep into water. The sun is high and bright in the sky, and very hot. The cloud of insects is thick. You'll get about halfway to Pollnagollum when you realize that all the people of Pollnagollum are standing on the roofs of the buildings in this partially submerged village. Katath, you have the set goal of investigating the village of Pollnagollum. Do you have any questions as you approach?
I think I look toward the others in confusion and say, What are they doing? And I'm trying to see if they are hiding from something or trying to get away from something on the roof, something below them, perhaps.
Make a hunt roll.
I don't know that I have any other than a skill in ferocity, which might get me to recognize that something ferocious is looking for them, but I think that's a stretch. Um,
I'll take it. I think it's good. Yeah. Something ferocious enough to drive them to the roofs.
right, that's a 3.
Mm. Mm. Halinka and Basso, you have set out to investigate the village of Pollnagollum, your neighbors, about a quarter of a mile up the bank. It has to be done, of course. The company commanders are a little upset that no one from the village has come to inquire with them yet. But also, some days ago, fellow company members Katath and Rias Ilsmat set out for Pollnagollum and have not yet returned. It's slow going. The mud is thick. The water is filled with all manner of nasty and vile things. The stench is incredible. Bazo, you have the set goal of investigating the village of Pollnagollum. What do you do as you approach?
I want to get a really good look at this water, and I would like to spend 3 tokens to find out what's in there.
Oh, interesting. Let me see. Yes. As you approach, you realize a couple of things. One, all of the people of Pollnagollum are standing on the roofs of their homes. And all of the people of Pollnagollum are looking down into the flooded cornfield around which their village is built. They're watching something swimming back and forth between the rows of corn. A flock of starlings circles and tries to land on the corn but thinks better of it and flies away instead. A hand, charred, burnt to the bone, reaches up from the water and turns and beckons you closer. What do you do?
Linka, do you see this?
Is that cannot be what I think it is.
Do we approach? Perhaps this is what happened to Katath and Rias.
Yes, perhaps it's trapped them or consumed them or something.
Rias, you are laying inside of a tent. Inside this tent, there are braziers burning fragrant floral smoke, floral incense. You're laying next to a woman who's draped in garlands of flowers. I'm so glad you came back to me.
Came back.
Yes.
Don't. What do you mean came back?
were here, I offered you the gift of my womb, but you rejected it mightily. I was stung for a time, but now you're back, and I could not be happier.
Who are you?
Make a hunt roll.
Oh man. Oh, darkness, stars, transformation, symbols. I don't think I have any skills or equipment that would help here. So one hunt roll die it is. And there it is. That's the one.
Did you have any tokens?
I had one.
You lose it. I shall tell you who I am. She leans forward and begins to whisper poisoned words into your ear. Katath, you're on a path in the woods. You're dragging a woodman's axe behind you. Your body is covered in a sheen of sweat. You smell of loam and moss and wood, and you see your destination. A little cabin, the window aglow from the fire that's lit. What do you do?
I narrow my eyes and drag the axe toward the cabin.
You reach the cabin.
Push open the door and step inside, dragging the axe behind me.
Inside, it is all warmth. There's the smell of something cooking on the hearth. There's the smell of flowers. There's the smell of bundles of herbs, sage, rosemary, that kind of thing, tied over the doorway. And inside is the old woman, bundled up on her bed. You came back to me. I always worry when you go out to cut wood.
What? You fear I will not return? But why?
The woods are a dark and terrible place. But this is a safe place. This is a comfortable place.
What is in the woods that is so terrible?
She smiles. Come closer and I shall tell you. I do not wish to speak it aloud. I do not wish for it to hear me.
I'll step closer, still dragging the axe behind me.
Halinka and Basso. There's something in the water. It beckoned to you. You could make it out. You're still not within shouting distance, but you saw what you saw. What do you do?
Well, we at least know why no one's come by to say hello. We
How long do you
can
suppose they've been up there?
The the dam burst what, weeks ago. They must be starving.
Looking around, is there any evidence that Katath or Rias's mat came by here? Tracks or weapons, or
Make a
can you
hunt
see
roll.
them? Awesome. Uh, let's see. I don't really have anything useful aside from I have skills in weapons. So if I recognize any weapons that are left behind, I would know if it was theirs.
I like it. Yeah, I think there's probably like piles of equipment and stuff like wedged under the houses and are like, kind of set up on dry places, right?
Yeah.
That sounds good. Make a hunt roll.
It is a 4.
Hmm. Take your token. No sign of their equipment, but Katath and Riasil Smot are part of the people standing on the roofs of the houses looking down.
Hmm.
They're not on the same house, but they're there. You see them. Halinka, what do you do?
If this is pointed out to me, uh, Malika will just say, perhaps we should keep a wide distance, then get into shine distance. Maybe one of them knows what's going on.
I would like to use a ritual. I have the ritual. Hold on, let me get the name of it because I forgot the name. Messenger, where I can send a message via a creature. I would like to wave one of the starlings down and use that
Hmm.
to send a message to either Katath or Rias through that starling, asking what's going on.
Halinka,
Hmm.
you've been sent by the company commanders to make contact with the people of Pollnagollum. No one has heard from the people of Pollnagollum yet, and several days ago, company members Katath, Riasilsmat, and Basso went to make contact and have not yet returned. Let's take a 5-minute break. Basso, you find yourself in a pleasant little house, sitting at the head of a long table. Laid out across the table is the most magnificent feast. Pies, cakes, mutton, racks of lamb, game birds, all manner of savory and sweet delights. The old woman, she says, "You came back. I made this for you. Eat. Eat to your heart's content. Eat till you can eat no more."
I'll have you know, Mom, I can eat a lot.
We have to fatten you up, don't we?
Bazo pats his quite large belly. I, I, I'm confused. Who are you?
Make the hunt roll.
I don't think I have anything useful. I do not. That's a 2.
You must eat. Start with this pie. You are furiously shoving the pie into your mouth. And then a leg of turkey, and then a leg of lamb, one in each hand. She helps you. She lifts the flagon of ale to your mouth to wash it all down. In it goes, in it goes. Oh, 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 oh. Isn't it delicious?
I just nod desperately, shoveling more and more food in my mouth, barely even chewing. I'm choking on it as it goes down.
Katath, the old woman in the bed, says, "Why have you not hung your axe by the door? Why are you still carrying it with you?"
Perhaps I'm scared that these terrible things in the forest will follow me.
They cannot
What
reach
are
you
they?
here. They cannot reach you here.
What are they, these things?
Make the hunt roll.
I do have presence as an ability, so I'm just being imposing, standing over her and demanding information,
I'll take it. Holding an axe.
right? That's a 6.
Take your token. You can see her face is false. The skin does not sit quite right on the bone. The eyes occasionally fall beneath the flesh. You do not have to fear what lies outside these walls. What do?
Bring the axe down, swing it over my head, and bring it down on this false creature in the bed.
Katath, Basso, Ria Silsmot, all three of you are in combat, but we'll get to that in a moment. Halinka, you have set out. Everything is as I previously described. You see the cornfield, you see the people on the roof, you even see the hand rising up, beckoning you closer. You see the flock of starlings. And you see a little girl standing on a tuffet. A little hillock, if you will. She's holding a basket. She's very malnourished looking, I would say. The people of this land have had a hard few days. She says, "Won't you come join me?"
Yes, are you from the village over there?
Yes.
And Halinka will slowly begin just take the few steps up the tuffet. It must be so hard being separated them from for however many days it's been.
Everything changes at night. Won't you sit here with me until night?
Uh, I think Halinka will just like look back up to the people on the roofs, back to the young girl. What happens at night?
She smiles. That's when she comes out to play.
Do I recognize my compatriots on the roofs?
Make the hunt roll.
I am basically trying to play innocent with this young girl. So I'll take the second die. That's a 5.
Take your token. Yes, you do.
Mhm.
You also realize you've been standing here with her for hours, and the moon is high in the sky.
Shit.
And then
Um,
you feel something behind you. You see on your shoulder that charred, withered hand touching you from behind, grasping your shoulder from behind. I'm so glad you came back.
I I'm sorry. Do I know you?
Bazo, Rias, Katath, you're all in combat in your own way. It is just one combat, though. Endurance 10. Please tell me how you were exposed to danger and roll weak point.
I do have a quick question.
Yes,
Do we have our weapons with us?
sure.
Okay. I think I have been stuffing my face full of food for could be days now. I couldn't really tell you how long. And I am not exactly in my best form. My weak point is 3.
Rias, Katath?
Is this combat like us fighting the dream, not like a more traditional, straightforward combat, or are we actually fighting this lady?
You're fighting her in this way. She's whispering poisoned words into your ears. That's how she hurts you.
Um, Rias's weak point is that he's been so scared because of his curse to be with someone in this way, and he wants to believe that this will be okay. He's fighting himself essentially. My weak point is 6.
Katath?
Katath doesn't know what the rules are here. Is what he's fighting real? Where is he? His weak point is 6.
Let's have a combat 3. You need 10 on the 2 highest dice. Rias, you can roll it.
Combat 3.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 6. Looks like no weak points.
Just begin, Rias. What does this look like?
Rias is in full carnal embrace with this woman. Um, she's whispering in his ear. They are rolling over top of each other. Um, if it's moonlight, then that moon is blinking with the light of the Lady of the Golden Lamp. There are fireflies, but there's women in floral decor that are actually holding them back this time as they're trying to reach out to Rias.
Basso, stuffing your face.
I think I'm leaning back now and she has my jaw pulled open, shoveling food, just handfuls of food into my mouth. And I am pushing against her and flailing. And I am a strong man. She is extraordinarily strong. I think I reach down and grab one of the legs of mutton and just bash her over the head with it to get her off of me. It doesn't do a lot of damage or any damage, but I think it gets me free of the food being shoveled down my gullet for a moment.
Katath.
Katath, with a huge roar, swings the axe down in an arc over his head, crashes onto the empty bed.
Halinka, you are grabbed and thrown 30, 40 feet. You're hurled. You land in the water, so it doesn't hurt you. But you see her. She is tall. She is burned. She has leaking stab wounds, spraying out gluts of green fluid. Her limbs are attached by just thin sinews, and her bones seem like they're broken as she ambles toward you. You can join the combat, or you can run away back to camp.
Linka remembers something that she had overheard from either from Obeha or simply coming across it in the company book. Bear with me a moment. There's a bad old woman who lived in the corn. Only children knew that she was real. She had 7 souls and couldn't die the same way twice. So all the children poisoned her. They stabbed her and smashed her, and sliced her and burned her and drowned her. Then they threw her in the well. And then she says aloud, "That's 6, and 7 makes all." She will just put 2 fingers in her mouth, whistle for Gerald, and we'll join this combat.
Who is Gerald?
My dog.
Oh, very good. Go ahead and make your weak point roll.
I was just thrown 30 feet, and I'm soaking wet with a very heavy wool cloak. My weak point is 3.
Fantastic. This is going to be a combat 5. Katath, it's yours. Looking for 10 on the 2 highest dice. $11. A 6 was hit, and I know that's someone's weak point.
It's 2 of ours.
Yeah, that's 2 of
Tav and
us.
Rias.
I'll describe the hits. Tell me if you're marking armor, Katath.
No.
She grabs from next to her bed what appears to be a walking cane, and she swings it with great force, and it breaks your leg, and you collapse down, take the condition broken leg, and increase your ruin by 1. Rias, are you taking the hit?
I'll take the hit.
She whispers poisoned words into your ear, into the air. You are poisoned, and your ruin goes up by 1. But now, Basso, describe how you destroy the old woman force feeding you.
I don't think I let go of that leg of mutton. I think there's grease and just sinew and pieces of meat and blood and person smashed all to pieces into the hardwood floor of this little cabin. And all you see is the bashed in face of this old woman covered in lard.
Rias, describe how you kill this woman.
At a certain point, some of the fireflies inevitably break through, and Rias finds himself on top of this woman, and I think the memories come flooding back, and he finds himself with his hands around her neck, and what she's done and what she's said linger in him, and we watch as his face morphs into the tiger form, two more arms grow out from behind his back. He has his spear in one hand, his bow and arrows in the other, and is just full Hindu deity. And he sits up and plunges the spear down through her heart.
Katath, describe how you kill this old woman.
After she knocks me to the ground, I yell out in rage and scramble over and pull her to the floor, wrapping my fingers around her throat. And as I do so, my broken leg swings out and knocks a candle to the floor, and the hut begins to burn. And I am squeezing the life out of her neck, and she loses consciousness, and I start to crawl desperately toward the door before the hut goes up in flames.
Do you strangle her to death, or does she burn to death?
Katath is not sure.
Oh. Halinka, describe how you destroy this creature.
They will simply unsheath their knife and just start like trudging towards her in this ankle deep water. And as this old woman approaches, they will try to leap and stab into her rib cage. And she starts to laugh. You know the rhyme, child. That will not kill me again. And then they'll like put their feet on her waist and like pull, and they'll just whisper in her ear, "Nothing has eaten from you yet." As the dog crunches into her neck and pulls as charred sinew and trachea fall out of this woman's torso.
So the dog eats her.
Mm-hmm.
Halinka, roll a gold 10, please. Absolutely
Zero.
nothing.
Trophy, baby.
The four of you say nothing on the slow trudge back to camp. Basso, your mouth is smeared with blood and hair, and you have a very full feeling in your stomach. Katath, you have a woodcutter's axe. Who knows where that came from? And Ria Silsmot, you are crowned with flowers. Gerald happily scampers back to camp as soon as you are close enough for him to feel comfortable running away from you.